Just at that point in my life, I had been asked to write for many years.
What if one of the most glamorous women in music history, an icon draped in diamonds and applause, was also guarding one of pop culture's most controversial secrets? Diana Ross, born Diane Ernestine Earl Ross on March 26, 1944, in Detroit, Michigan, has left an indelible mark on the world of music, fashion, and film. Emerging from the Brewster Douglas housing projects, she rose to global fame as the lead singer of the Supremes, Motown Records' most successful act during the 1960s. Guided by Motown founder Berry Gordy, Ross and Supremes churn out numerous hits like Where Did Our Love Go? Stop, In the Name of Love, You Can't Hurry Love, and Baby Love, becoming one of the best-selling girl groups in history. With her elegant voice, commanding stage presence, and signature style, Ross naturally transitioned into a solo career in 1970. Her solo debut was marked by the chart-topping hit Ain't No Mountain High Enough, showcasing her versatility in pop, soul, R&B, and later, disco and jazz. Her subsequent albums, including Touch Me in the Morning, Diana, and The Boss, cemented her status as a solo powerhouse. The 1980s saw her evolving musically with hits like Upside Down, I'm Coming Out, and Endless Love, her duet with Lionel Richie, which became one of the most beloved ballads of all time. Ross also became a sensational international touring artist, selling out arenas worldwide and captivating audiences with her enduring charisma. Beyond music, Ross successfully ventured into film and television. Her performance as Billie Holiday in the 1972 biopic Lady Sings the Blues earned her an Academy Award nomination, a rare accomplishment for a music artist. She followed up with significant roles in Mahogany and The Wiz, where she portrayed Dorothy alongside Michael Jackson. These films showcase her acting skills and reinforce her cultural significance, breaking barriers for Black women in a predominantly white and male-dominated industry. Ross has long been a beacon of grace, resilience, and empowerment, especially for African-American women. Her poise, fashion sense, and unwavering demand for respect helped redefine the image of Black women in entertainment. Her influence is seen in the careers of Beyoncé, Janet Jackson, and Whitney Houston, all of whom credit Ross as a trailblazing inspiration. Over her 6-decade career, Ross has maintained an enduring bond with her audience, continuously reinventing herself while staying true to her artistic roots. She has received numerous accolades, including a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, a Kennedy Center Honor, a Golden Globe, and induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Supremes. In 2016, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama, recognizing her significant contributions to American culture and the arts. Despite the challenges of fame, industry pressures, and personal hardships, Ross has always exemplified professionalism, optimism, and resilience. Her 2021 album, Thank You, served as a heartfelt message to her fans, affirming her ongoing creativity and emotional depth. Even at 81, she remains active, touring and connected with audiences, proving that age has only refined her brilliance. Her voice continues to carry the same emotive power that first captivated the world. Ross's personal life has been as rich and complex as her professional journey. Her first significant relationship was with Berry Gordy, which began in 1965. Their relationship, both personal and professional, was pivotal during the early years of her solo career. In 1971, she gave birth to her first daughter, Rhonda Suzanne, whose biological father was Gordy. However, Ross married music executive Robert Ellis Silberstein during her pregnancy, and he lovingly raised Rhonda as his own. It wasn't until Rhonda turned 13 that Ross revealed the truth about her paternity. Ross and Silberstein had 2 more daughters, Tracy Ellis Ross, born in 1972, who became a celebrated actress known for her roles in Girlfriends and Blackish, and Chudney Lane Silberstein, born in 1975, who pursued a career in education and literature. Despite the couple's divorce in 1977, they remained respectful co-parents. In 2023, Smokey Robinson revealed a past romantic affair with Ross during the early days of Motown, which occurred while he was married to Claudette, Ross's friend. Ross ended the affair, and though it stirred media attention, her representative declined to comment, underscoring her long-standing commitment to privacy. Ross later found love with Norwegian shipping magnate Arne Næss Jr. They married in 1986 and blended their families, as Ross became stepmother to his 3 children from a previous relationship. Together, they had 2 sons, Ross Arne, born in 1987, and Evan Olav, born in 1988. Both pursued artistic careers, with Evan gaining recognition as an actor and musician. Despite their divorce in 2000, following reports of Næss fathering a child outside the marriage, Ross continued to express affection for him, calling him the love of her life. Tragically, Næss died in a mountain climbing accident in South Africa in 2004. Ross maintained close ties with his children, preserving the family bond they built. Now at 81, Diana Ross has opened up about her deeply personal relationship with Michael Jackson. For years, fans speculated about the nature of their bond, often mythologized by the media. In a rare and emotional interview, Ross described Jackson not merely as a musical prodigy, but as a tender, vulnerable soul searching for unconditional love. Their connection began when Jackson was only 9 years old. Introduced to her by Berry Gordy, Ross saw something extraordinary in him, a rare combination of talent and emotional depth. As she mentored the Jackson 5, Ross became a maternal figure to Michael, someone he trusted and confided in. She related to his struggles, having faced similar pressures as a young star. Over the years, despite their diverging paths, their emotional connection endured. She recalled late-night phone calls where Jackson, behind the scenes, would ask if he was still loved, not as a star, but as a person. She described these moments with tenderness, saying, "He never stopped being that little boy who just wanted someone to hold his hand." Ross spoke of Jackson's brilliance and pain, highlighting his incredible talent, unmatched creativity, and emotional burdens he carried. She refrained from judging him, instead offering compassion. Michael was not broken, she said. He was beautiful, just burdened. Her reflections humanized Jackson, moving beyond the media image to reveal the man behind the myth. In telling this story, Ross has provided a form of healing and honored Jackson's memory with love and honesty. On May 5, 2025, Ross made a grand and celebrated appearance at the Met Gala, one of fashion's most prestigious events. Encouraged by her son Evan, Ross attended the gala not just to dazzle, but to honor her legacy. She stunned in a custom gown with an 18-foot train embroidered with the names of her children and grandchildren, a moving tribute to family and heritage. The gown captivated the media and attendees alike, underscoring Ross's timeless relevance and deep devotion to her family. Earlier that year, Ross also attended the 67th Annual Grammy Awards and the 2025 Brit Awards, receiving standing ovations and reaffirming her status as a global icon. Her appearances symbolize her lasting legacy and ongoing vitality as a performer. Whether walking red carpets or performing live, Diana Ross continues to inspire and evolve, a living legend whose impact transcends generations. In the decades since her rise from the Brewster Douglas housing projects of Detroit, Diana Ross has become more than an exceptional entertainer. She has evolved into a living emblem of cultural transformation, intersecting music, film, fashion, and societal progress in ways few artists ever have. Every chapter of her life, from the Supreme's first electrifying performance to her poignant disclosures late in life, deepens a portrait of a woman whose story is inseparable from the broader narrative of American art and African-American identity. The 1960s, with its calls for civil rights and sweeping social change, provided a striking backdrop against which Diana Ross and the Supremes emerged. Through hit singles like Baby Love and Stop, In the Name of Love, Ross and her groupmates became international phenomena. Yet the artistry that catapulted them forward was deeper than simple pop appeal. It was rooted in soul, elegance, and an unspoken confidence that challenged stereotypes and silenced critics who underestimated black women. At a time when the mainstream media was slow to embrace African-American performers, Ross's poised presence and magnetic voice cut through barriers. Although the group's image was carefully managed, designing matching gowns, orchestrated choreography, and sugar-sweet harmonies, their success resonated far beyond the recording studio. The Supremes became the first black group to consistently top the Billboard Hot 100, shattering the color line in entertainment. Their television appearances, on variety shows, late-night programs, and concert stages, put black performers into living rooms across America. By appearing confident, glamorous, and unashamedly black, Ross helped redefine both the possibilities of what a young black woman could achieve on stage and the standards by which the music industry evaluated female artists. In 1970, the world watched as Ross stood before cameras and microphones without the Supremes for the first time. Her debut solo record, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, soared to number one and became an anthem of self-determination and emotional resilience. The song, originally a duet by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, was reborn through Ross's theatrical interpretation, blending pop, soul, and orchestral drama into an iconic masterstroke. Her subsequent albums showed her fearlessness in tackling both joyful dance numbers and intimate ballads. Touch Me in the Morning offered stirring vocal performances and inspired arrangements. Her self-titled Diana album captured the glossy disco elegance of the mid-70s. When The Boss arrived in 1979, Ross embodied empowerment, asserting control, autonomy, and an empowered identity as a woman who had earned her place in music's pantheon. Singles like Upside Down and I'm Coming Out became anthems of liberation and self-expression, especially within the LGBTQ+ community, who embraced I'm Coming Out as a platitude of self-affirmation. Her duet with Lionel Richie, Endless Love, was a chart-topping, universally recognized love song that showcased her emotional depth and vocal clarity. On stage, her live performances left audiences awestruck. In Las Vegas residencies, worldwide tours, and televised concerts, her entrance, usually staged in a sweeping gown, dramatic lighting, and high emotion, still elicited spontaneous applause. Decades after her first steps into superstardom, Diana Ross's ability to command a room remained unmatched. Ross did not limit herself to music. In 1972, Lady Sings the Blues cast her in one of the most emotionally demanding roles in cinema. Billie Holiday, a jazz great with tragic life. Stepping into that character required not only voice and stage presence, but vulnerability and depth. Ross delivered, earning her a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination, an extraordinary feat for a musician crossing over to dramatic acting. Films like Mahogany, 1975, and The Wiz, 1978, solidified her versatility. In Mahogany, she played Tracy Chambers, an aspiring fashion designer navigating ambition, love, and self-discovery in a visually stunning portrait of urban life. The film's fashion, photography, and soundtrack solidified its place in popular culture. In The Wiz, a soulful reimagining of The Wizard of Oz, Ross became Dorothy, guiding a young Michael Jackson as Scarecrow, Nipsey Russell, Tin Man, and Ted Ross, Cowardly Lion, in a Broadway-style, jazz-inspired retelling steeped in black cultural expression. Her ability to carry a film, bringing nuance, emotion, humor, and uplift into a single role, solidified her as not only a music icon, but a cinematic force. Ross provided a template for future performers who hoped to defy the constraints of a single medium. Behind the carefully curated public image, Diana Ross's personal life was equally layered and intricate. Break, when Nas died in 2004, provided another layer of global depth as Ross navigated personal loss on top of fame's demanding platform. Her love life reflects her capacity to embrace different worlds, celebrity, business, royalty, family, as well as a resilience to rebuild, endure pain, and retain dignity. Her role as a mother, raising 5 children and embracing stepchildren, reveals her legacy in another form. Tracee Ellis Ross went on to critique and define black female excellence in TV and culture. Evan Ross works as a musician and actor. Rhonda, Chudney, and Ross Arn have carved their own paths, reminders that Diana's influence, while immense on stage, extended quietly yet powerfully into the home she built. In May 2025, at the age of 81, Diana Ross unveiled her most personal revelations to date, sharing a loving, clarifying, and restorative account of her relationship with Michael Jackson. Ross's bond with Jackson began when he was a child prodigy, his wide-eyed self professed in front of Motown's tapestry of stars. She recognized not just his talent, but his fragility. With the Jackson 5, she extended both musical mentorship and emotional support. Over the years, the bond deepened. While Michael's public image as a superstar grew, Ross remained a listening ear, offering private calls late into the night when his fame felt crushing. Ross portrayed Michael as beautiful, just burdened. This decision to speak publicly now late in her own career, was rooted in long-held responsibility to correct the dehumanizing myths circulating around Jackson. Rather than retread past controversies, Ross aimed to humanize him. She didn't speak as a defender or a prosecutor, but as someone who truly knew him. She emphasized his sensitivity, insecurity, unrelenting drive for perfection, as well as his lifelong search for love and reassurance. This revelation has since reframed how audiences view Jackson, not just as a moral performer, but as a person who needed someone to acknowledge his pain beyond the spotlight. May 5th, 2025, the Met Gala. In a showcase of elegance, Ross presented a custom gown with an embroidered 18-foot train, a moving testament to the children and grandchildren she adores. She spoke to reporters of her son Evan's influence in coaxing her onto the red carpet, reinforcing how family remains her guiding center. She nodded to her legacy, not as mere iconography, but as a generational force. Earlier that year, she accepted standing ovations at the Grammy and Brit Awards. Far from relying on nostalgia, her appearances were celebrations of her ongoing journey. She isn't. Ross's life has been shaped by breakthroughs, racial, artistic, personal. She has defied segregation in the music business. She has transcended genres, styles, and cameras. She has blended private yearning with public achievement. She has revised her private life with honesty, remaking emotion into art. Diana Ross has taught us that artistry is not confined to youth. Instead, it evolves, layering on experience, endurance, and empathy. Her voice has grown deeper not only in music, but in humanity. At 81, her narrative has synthesized fame and fame's burdens, hopes and autonomy, joy and pain, recasting a legend as a fully realized human. From a modest Detroit childhood to the apex of global stardom across multiple disciplines, music, film, fashion, Diana Ross's life is a symphony of transcendence. Her lessons resonate. Be unapologetic in your identity, evolve with conviction, and hold space for emotional complexity. In breaking her silence about Michael Jackson, Ross shifted from icon to storyteller, offering a more compassionate lens through which we might view fame's lonely heights and every generation. There are artists whose lives become symbols, living testaments to what is possible. Diana Ross is one such figure. Her journey is no longer just a personal narrative. It's a collective one. She represents the dream of upward mobility, the audacity of creative autonomy, and the beauty of evolution without compromise. From the earliest days at Motown, Ross was never simply following a script. She was rewriting it. Her signature look, sweeping hair, jewel gowns, elegant posture, was never just about aesthetics. It was an assertion of visibility in an industry that, for too long, minimized black beauty. It said, "I belong here. I demand to be seen. I demand to be remembered." And remembered she was. Even now, in an era of streaming algorithms and viral fame, Diana Ross's songs continue to circulate in everything from film soundtracks to protest marches, club anthems to wedding playlists. "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" has become a shorthand for emotional courage. "I'm Coming Out" resonates with anyone who has ever had to declare their identity against the tide of expectation. Her influence is not only musical. In the broader culture, her presence changed how audiences understood the concept of a black female superstar. She wasn't built in reaction to someone else. She defined her space. Beyoncé has cited her as an inspiration. So has Janet Jackson. Even Lady Gaga, Rihanna, and Solange channel her balance of high fashion, emotional vulnerability, and sonic experimentation. But what makes Ross's legacy all more profound is her embrace of time. Unlike many artists who retreat as they age, Ross has let the years deepen her expression. In recent interviews, she speaks not only as an artist, but as a kind of cultural philosopher, reflecting on impermanence, love, and the meaning of endurance. "I used to think the applause was everything," she recently said in an interview. "Now I think the most beautiful sound is the quiet I've earned, the stillness, the family, the forgiveness. That forgiveness is central to understanding the final arc of her story." Her revelations about Michael Jackson weren't merely about setting the record straight. They were about healing the child in Michael who never had peace, healing the public's fractured perception of him, and perhaps most movingly, healing the parts of herself that carried the burden of silence for so long. Her decision to speak now isn't about re-entering the spotlight. It's about completion, a gesture of grace from a woman who has given the world beauty in every form it can take. Song, image, performance, truth. Diana Ross is more than a singer, more than an icon. She is a signal of what it means to rise, to risk, to reign, and to reflect. Her life's work is not just music. It is memory, emotion, identity, and legacy woven together into something immortal. As she enters her 9th decade, Diana Ross stands not at the twilight of her career, but at the summit of her wisdom. And from there, she offers something far more powerful than fame: perspective. At 81, Diana Ross isn't winding down. She's deepening her narrative, opening her heart, and reasserting what it means to remain human at the apex of greatness. What began as a voice in Detroit has become a testament to reinvention, connection, and timeless artistry. Her story remains open-ended, an ongoing song interwoven with the lives she's touched and the truths she has lived. Her life story, rich with triumphs, love, heartbreak, and resilience, is a powerful reminder of the human experiences behind the glamour. Diana Ross remains not only a musical and cultural icon, but a testament to strength, grace, and enduring love. Her legacy lives on not just in her music, but in the lives of those she's touched, mentored, and inspired. If this deeper look into Diana's life moved you, or made you see a familiar icon in a new light, go ahead and hit like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe. We're diving deeper into the stories behind the legends, the fame, the fractures, and forgotten truths.